Throughout history, humanity has been driven by an insatiable desire to seek truth, meaning, and connection with the divine. This quest is not just a fleeting curiosity but a profound longing embedded deep within the soul. Even as our greatest discoveries merely hint at the light, we continue to reach for the stars, undeterred by centuries of disappointment. The journey is not about capturing the unattainable, but about the relentless pursuit itself. Like Parsifal seeking the Holy Grail or Sir Launfal embarking on his adventure, life becomes a divine quest. Words often fail to capture the fullness of this experience, leaving us with symbols and allegories to express what cannot be spoken. In this opening, we set the stage for an exploration into the mysteries of Freemasonry, where the search for the lost word becomes a metaphor for the human journey toward enlightenment. As we delve deeper, we realize that wisdom often hides behind symbols and allegories. Throughout the ages, rituals, creeds, and songs have served as parables, their true meanings accessible only to those who look beyond the literal. The uninitiated may take these stories at face value, building barriers of words and judging those who do not join them. Yet, for the visionary, dogma and ritual dissolve, revealing the truth behind the symbol. This scene explores how Freemasonry uses symbolism to convey profound truths, inviting us to look past the shadows and discover the light that shines through. A Freemason is not just a member of a fraternity, but someone who has been inwardly prepared, found worthy, and accepted into a brotherhood of builders. Endowed with certain words and signs, the Freemason is able to work and receive wages as a master, traveling in search of what was lost, the word. This journey echoes through the centuries, reminding us that the word, though lost, is always with us. The light that illuminates distant horizons also shines within our hearts. The paradox is clear: we travel far only to find what we have always possessed at home. Life is described as a divine adventure, a magnificent quest. The yearning for the infinite within us is proof of its existence. The author, though not a Freemason himself, has grasped the deeper meaning of the ritual and invites all humanity to enter the Holy of Holies. Through vivid allegory and philosophical discussion, the teachings of Freemasonry, older than any religion and as universal as human aspiration, are revealed. Blessed are those who see, hear, and understand. At its core, Freemasonry is a religious order, woven deeply into the fabric of Christianity and other spiritual traditions. Religion is seen as a divinely inspired code of morals, guiding individuals to a nobler life. Each faith, whether Christian, Buddhist, or otherwise, seeks to nurture the invisible spark within us, the spirit. Freemasonry stands at the intersection of materialism and spirituality, offering a place where science and theology can meet in harmony. The ultimate goal is the liberation of spirit and intelligence from ignorance, superstition, and fear. Across the world, 12 fellow craftsmen search the 4 points of the compass, symbolizing the great world religions, each seeking what was lost in ages past. The search for reality in a world of illusion is the task for which each of us is born. We are here to find balance, reveal illusion, and conquer the dragon of our lower nature. Like King David passing the task to Solomon, each generation hands down the work of building or restoring the Lord's dwelling. Life is a school, and religions are groups gathered for the work of learning. Every living being struggles to break the suffocating bonds of limitation, striving for personal liberation from ignorance. The world is a vast prison, its bars made of the unknown, and each of us is a prisoner until we earn the right to break free. All peoples seek the temple where God dwells, but are often lost in the fog of dogma and the chains of unawareness. Many wander in darkness, seeking light, unaware that the light is hidden within the heart of darkness itself. Some, having found it, reveal God to humanity and strive to share wisdom with the ignorant. Yet few truly understand the mystery revealed. The path is difficult, and many kneel in prayer before a mountain they cannot climb, fearing they have misunderstood the burning letters in the sky. Freemasonry is a structure built from experience, each stone a step in the development of intelligence. Its sanctuaries are adorned with the jewels of countless ages, and its rituals echo the words of enlightened seers. More than a religion, it is a path of certainty, a university teaching the liberal arts and sciences of the soul. It is the shadow of the great Atlantean school of mysteries, its pillars supporting the arch of universal education. Freemasons are builders of the temple of character, architects of the radiant temple of their own souls. By joining the great architect in constructing nobler structures, they serve God best. All who strive for mastery through constructive effort are in spirit Freemasons regardless of sect or creed. The Lodge is a school of mystery, a place where candidates are drawn from the madness of the world to learn the secrets of life and the identity of the divine essence within. Freemasonry is a religion essentially without creed. Its brothers bow to truth, regardless of the messenger, and serve the light rather than argue over who brings it. This universal fellowship aims to glorify one God by building a temple of constructive relationships and noble character. The truest religion is the gathering of all beings in companionship and brotherhood. The average Freemason may not realize the cosmic obligation undertaken when seeking the sacred truths hidden in ancient and modern rituals. Freemasonry is not merely a social order but a science of the soul, a universal expression of divine wisdom. Its true origin lies not in historical events but in the symbolic language preserving the mysteries of the ancients. Only those who see it as a cosmic study, a spiritual inspiration for better living, gain insight into its real secrets. The true lodge of Freemasons is the universe itself. Its origins stretch back to the dawn of time when the Temple of the Solar Man was established. The real secrets of the ancient lodge were laid by the gods of creation and the spirits of the dawn. The symbols and rituals are veils, constructed to preserve ideas that are incomprehensible to the average person. Few today appreciate the mystical meaning hidden within these rituals. Freemasonry, like the universe, is governed by the development of a triple principle, represented by the three great builders of the Masonic Temple. These are not personalities but principles, intelligent energies in God, man, and the universe, responsible for shaping cosmic substance into the dwelling of the living king. The completion of the temple is both a duty and a privilege, requiring each to build according to the divine plan. True Freemasonry is esoteric, not of this world. All we have here are connections, doors through which the student may pass into the unknown. The form is shaped and manifested by the life within, and the student strives to shape his life so that the form glorifies God. The ancient mysteries, preserved through countless lodges, form the oldest school of mysteries, maintained by a hidden brotherhood on spiritual planes. The true seeker rises from the exoteric body to join the esoteric group, whose dome is the heavens, whose pillars are the corners of creation, and whose altar is the human heart. No creed can bind the true seeker of truth. The hierarchies of the mystery schools have given spiritual rituals to humanity, and the only way to fulfill one's place in the plan is to learn how to give more, not just to receive. Freemasonry conceals the mystery of creation, the answer to the problem of existence, and the path to join those who are true living forces behind the scenes of world affairs. True initiation is not granted by degrees or titles, but by living the teachings and building the sacred doctrine within oneself. Only the purified being can unlock the sealed libraries of human consciousness. The ancient school of mysteries, preserved through the centuries, is not dependent on its exoteric body but on the hidden brotherhood. All great mystery schools have hierarchies on spiritual levels, expressing themselves through religions and organizations. The true student seeks to rise spiritually from the outer body to join the inner group, which is far greater than any physical lodge. The true Mason is not bound by oaths but by a life lived in such a way that he can see through the empty wall and open the window now veiled by materiality. When the mysteries of the universe are revealed, the material aspects of Masonry no longer matter. The school of mysteries is recognized only when one has spiritually become its member. In the ancient tradition, Masonry is concerned with developing the triple principle, governed by three great kings, builders of the Masonic Temple. These are not personalities but principles, intelligent energies in God, man, and the universe, shaping cosmic substance into the temple of the living king. The completion of this temple is a privilege owed to God, brother, and self. Today, the plan seems lost, and Masonry is often speculative rather than operative. Each brother must read the secrets of the symbols and reflect on the allegories, realizing that he holds the keys and plans long lost to the craft. To truly learn Masonry, one must unlock its doors with the key forged from the metals of one's own being. True Masonry is esoteric, a connection to the unknown. The form is shaped by the life within, and the student strives to shape his life so that the form glorifies God. The ancient mysteries, preserved through countless lodges, form the oldest school of mysteries, maintained by a hidden brotherhood on spiritual planes. The Emerald Tablet of Hermes introduces Chiram, the universal agent, one in essence but three in aspect. This agent is the source of all things, its power perfect when united with spiritual earth. The mystery of Chiram or Hiram is central to Masonic legend, representing the universal spirit from which all creation arises. The use and misuse of energy is the key to the Masonic legend, and indeed to all things in nature. The legend of Hiram Abiff, the master builder, is a central allegory in Freemasonry. Hiram is chosen by the great architect to build the temple, given the master's word and tools. Yet he is struck down by the very tools given to him, symbolizing the betrayal by the forces he created. His death and the quest to revive him represent the eternal search for the lost word and the resurrection of the divine within. The three assassins of Hiram symbolize the three expressions of our lower nature: thought, desire, and action. When purified, these become the radiant triangle through which the great life force manifests. When perverted, they form a triangular prison, blocking the light and forcing life to wander in darkness until liberated by higher understanding. Every living being eventually realizes it is a prisoner, bound by invisible chains stronger than any physical prison. This eternal prisoner is life itself, striving through countless forms for self-expression. The legend of the Holy Sepulchre, preserved by mystic philosophers, tells of the master builder entombed by the very builders meant to serve him. The journey of the candidate is the journey of awakening, seeking to liberate the divine within from the tomb of matter. The longing in the human heart drives us toward the doors of the temple. This inner desire for greater understanding and light has created the great cosmic Masonic Lodge, dedicated to those seeking union with the powers of light. The shell of matter cannot be discarded but must be raised into union with life. Through purification, knowledge, and service, the candidate develops the mystical qualities needed to build better bodies for the higher life to manifest. In the development of the soul, 3 great steps precede the completion of the spirit's dwelling: youth, manhood, and age, or in Masonic terms entered apprentice, fellow craft, and master mason. The first stage is one of preparation, dealing with material things. The candidate must master the concrete conditions of life, developing the natural centers that will later become channels for spiritual truths. The number 7 is associated with the entered apprentice, relating to the 7 liberal arts and sciences. These are the powers with which the apprentice must work before advancing to higher degrees. Mastery of the physical world is the first step in spiritual growth, laying the foundation for the development of higher faculties. The rough ashlar, or unhewn stone, symbolizes the body and the raw material of the universe. The apprentice's task is to polish and prepare this stone, cleansing and refining it for the temple of the king. Each individual must gather the stones for their own temple, representing the powers and senses with which they work. The lost key of the entered apprentice is service. The apprentice's duty is to act, to express, and to beautify all that he touches, making his works acceptable in the eyes of the great architect. Daily life, relationships, and the recognition of unity form the basis for greater achievements. Only by living a life of purification can the finer forces of higher degrees be expressed. To be spiritually worthy, the apprentice must study the laws of anatomy, treat the body as a living temple, and maintain it through proper nourishment, clothing, and breathing. Growth must occur physically and in the expression of concrete things. The apprentice must strive for balance, using the 7 liberal arts to harmonize mind and body. Friendship is one of the noblest titles a mortal can earn. The bonds of community and companionship endure through eternity. The clasped hands of those who have recognized the unity of spirit form an eternal bond. Serving humanity is serving God, and the true Mason is a friend to all. The fellow craft degree represents the mastery of emotions and the constructive use of the energies of the universe. The candidate moves from youth to the responsibilities of manhood, learning to control the fiery forces within. The key to this degree is the proper use of living power, transforming personal affection into impersonal compassion. The mind is the noblest tool of the Mason, its value measured by its use. Thought is the key to understanding the labyrinth of symbols and rituals. The candidate must think deeply, seeking the meaning behind every action and symbol, for if truth exists, it is within reach of the living. The Master Mason stands at the summit of spiritual development, representing the graduate of the school of esoteric learning. He is not old in years but in wisdom and understanding. Having built his character through the stages of life, he now becomes a teacher, a reflector of the divine light. The true Master Mason is in contact with the invisible forces that move the destinies of life. Much is said about the loss of the Master's word and the quest to recover it. The true Master knows that the secret is not found by searching outward but by turning inward. The real word is treasured in the spiritual medallion of one's own being. For those with eyes to see, nothing is hidden. For those with the right to know, all things are open. The great work of the Master Mason is the art of balance. The triple energies of thought, desire, and action must be harmonized. The Master holds the triple keys and wears the triple crown of the ancient Magus, striving to unite all powers for the glorification of one goal. Beyond the Master Mason degree lies another, unknown to the world, where the true initiate is born. The Mason believes in the great architect, the living cornerstone of the plan of creation. The presence of the Master is always near, watching and judging every thought and action. The obligations of the Mason extend beyond the lodge to the great lodge under the heavenly dome. Every action is measured, and the true Mason is known by his deeds in the world. A true Mason recognizes that there is only one lodge, the universe, and one brotherhood composed of all that exists. He has renounced the worship of personality, recognizing the divine spark in all beings. His faith is universal, honoring the light in every temple. The true Mason is selfless, always seeking to serve the greater plan, and knows that charity in thought and deed is among the highest virtues. The Mason's life is his only acceptable prayer. The true Mason enters the lodge with the thought, "How can I be more useful in the universal plan?" He is ever ready to serve, knowing that every moment is preparation for the call that may come at any time. The real greatness of the Mason is shown not in ritual but in daily life. The true Mason seeks truth wherever it may be found, even in the camp of the enemy. The lodge is universal, and all true Masons search for light through the extremes of creation. The greatest among them is the servant of all, and the time has come for the ancient wisdom to shine forth as never before. The great temple of Amun-Ra, now in ruins, once stood as a forest of pillars supporting massive roofs adorned with lotus and papyrus. The chessboard of black and white blocks stretched into the wilderness of columns, watched over by the faces of unnamed gods. The high priest, dressed in blue and gold, carried the wisdom of ancient Egypt, guiding the initiate through the mysteries of the temple. The initiate, Eridamas, undergoes trials in the temple, facing illusions and dangers. Guided by the high priest, he must prove his worthiness through purity of heart and selfless motive. Passing through darkness and overcoming the guardians of the threshold, he finally beholds the Eye of Horus, the all-seeing eye of the gods, and ascends the stairway of living light to the summit of spiritual realization. The blue and gold robe woven by the three fates symbolizes the spiritual garment of the Mason. Each thought, action, and desire is a thread in this living garment. The true robe of coronation is not of earth, but of spiritual growth, understanding, and consecrated life. When the Mason has woven all these powers into himself, he radiates a body of living fire, becoming a true child of light.